Family, I'd like to open up a dialogue with you all on today. Does social media destroy relationships? We're going to talk about that today. Welcome back to Relationship Essentials. So, the other day, me and my husband, we were in a room, a counseling session with a panel of people, and I won't name who because that's private. But as we were listening, we heard a question come about, and that question I feel needs to be answered on today. And so the question came about was, does social media destroy relationships? And so I have an answer for that. And the answer is yes and no. Yes, because it's an avenue to use. It's a tool to use. You know, it's just like any other tool that's given to us to use. It's what we choose to do with it. And I'm going to say no, because you have a choice. You got a choice to take the next step, to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing with social media. The choice is, it's really up to that person. That's what I'm gonna say. And that's what it is true. It's up to the person that you're connected to. Because we all got choices, and it's up to you. You know, the Bible says, let every man have his own wife. Let every woman have her own husband. So that lets you know that you shouldn't be doing things with other people on social media. Because when you step outside your marriage, if you hadn't went to bed yet, you still can be a cheater. Yeah, you still can be a cheater with being in somebody else's inbox. If that ain't your wife, you shouldn't be messaging her. If that's not your husband or your husband, like that band on your finger that you put on there, girl, you shouldn't be having him in your inbox. So yes, it is a tool that people use. It's an avenue, y'all. But no, it's a choice. It's that individual. And it's not an accident that you use social media to do your dirt. Question comes about, like, how can social media just sabotage somebody's relationship? So here's what not to do in a relationship when you're on social media. Just in case you don't know, or just in case you do know and you just decide to ignore the warning signals. Number one, when you are in a relationship, that needs to be put out there, and you don't need to be playing about it. You don't have time to go back and forth. Like one day you're married, the next day you're in a relationship, the next day you're single. Come on, we gotta address that, because everybody's looking at your page. Folks knows what you're doing. So you putting yourself out there like that. So in that, if you with your husband, that needs to stay. And when y'all are into it, keep people out y'all business. Stop putting all that on social media. That ain't between nobody but you and your spouse. The world don't need to know that y'all into it. Because here's some things that's supposed to happen when everybody find out y'all into it. Because people that don't like y'all being together, find out about this, they gonna come out the wazooks with agreeing with y'all not being together. And this is your spouse. You wanna make it with him or her because you love your spouse. So keep other people out y'all business by keeping your business off of social media. Claim your spouse. There's nothing to hide. Your spouse should be on your page. You know, if I'm looking at your page and I don't see your spouse nowhere, then that makes me wonder, like, where is your spouse? Well, they not photogenic. Well, yeah, you can get some photogenicness out of that man, women. You can get some photogenicness out of that woman, men. Put your spouse on your page. Let people know, especially these thoughts, that you married, you are taken for. And I know some of them gonna come in your inbox anyway, but you don't want to be held accountable for leading them on. Because when you don't put your spouse on your page, you're opening doors for folks to think that you're single. And baby, you ain't single. You married. So you need to wear your husband everywhere you go, just like you wear God. And men, you need to wear your wife everywhere you go. Y'all are together. There is no his and mine. Now, he might have his own separate page. You might have yours. But you go look at mine and let that be an example. Go look at my husband's. Let that be an example. We got each other on our pages. We claim each other at home and publicly. Another thing that you don't want to do is have privacy. And I say that because in a relationship, a marriage, y'all are one anyway. So whatever is yours is his, and whatever his is yours. And so when y'all are together, y'all are a unit, there's no privacy there. You know, you don't want your spouse to think that, you know, you're doing something that you're not doing. So you keep that open with him or her. Let them know that, hey, look, if somebody messaged you, hey, look, that wasn't me, I'm bringing it to you now. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you hide something from him or her, they're going to find out anyway. And when they do, if you just tell him or her before they find out, look, I'm coming to you, I don't know what this is about, and just let that be it. That you know what that does when you can be mature like that? That makes you and your spouse that much closer. Because now they see that you are really serious and the matureness about you. And it's not a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. That would, you know, if something comes up in your inbox or somebody's doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, but you need to cut them off. Yeah, cut them off real quick. Then that lets your spouse know, and it brings security. That's a security blanket on both ends. And if your wife wants to see something on your page, you shouldn't be trying to hide anything. The only time somebody hides something or move around or try to erase something is when they doing something. You don't want to look like that because you're not doing it, right? Well, I pray that you're not doing it, you know, because you're going to get caught either way it go. And, you know, it's about lesson for some because we can talk and teach and tell all day long. But until you really learn that you love your spouse and that you don't want to do anything to hurt him or her, you're going to have to figure out that, hey, look, this just wasn't really worth it. It wasn't worth me hiding this from my spouse because that's your soulmate. Y'all should not be hiding nothing from each other. Look at it together. If your spouse asks you a question like, who been inboxing you? Well, baby, you know, this person been inboxing me, that one, then my sis over here and so forth down the line. You don't got nothing to hide. The only time they get offended and defensive is when they have something to hide. Or, and me and my husband was talking about this earlier, they get that manipulative spirit. Like, you do your page, I'm gonna do mine. And see, that's not good either. Because you got to care about your spouse. If you don't care, which means that you doing something to cover up yourself, so you try to put it off on them. Well, like, I'm not caring, I'm letting you be free, so you let me be free. You doing something. And I don't care what anybody say. You doing something that you ain't got no business doing. So a good question, again, is, that comes through time and time again, do you really love your spouse? Are you committed? Because if you committed at home, you need to be committed online. Okay? So social media is a place to be sociable. I get it, right? But what about those old flings that you used to have? You know, you shouldn't have your exes on your Facebook page that you had those intimate connections with and things like that. Somebody said, well, I beg to differ. I like seeing what they... Well, the question is, what do you have them on your page for? And yeah, I said for. I didn't say for. I said for. Why do you have? Why are you wanting to see what they're doing every day? You need to do a self-check. Check up on yourself and do a self-check from within. Like, why do I keep going to this individual's page? Why do I desperately want them connected to my page and want to have them around? And because, see, when you ask yourself these questions and when you be honest with yourself, sometimes the answer is because you're not sure about the relationship that you in. Okay? And I know that people are like, well, that's not true. Yes, it is. And there's no way to get around this, but when you got your ex on your page and you know they don't mean you no good, they done inboxed you a few times, and you know what the inboxes was, and they wasn't to say, hey, how you doing? It was more of like what they wanted to do with you type of thing. Then let you know you're not secure yourself. Because if your wife make you mad, or vice versa, if your husband make you mad, well, I just go over here. You shouldn't be doing that. Because when you get mad at your spouse, you need to go to your spouse. They are the ones that you deal with, not social media. Because well, it ain't hurt nobody for the talk. I'm going through so much, I need to talk to somebody. They ain't the one to be talking to. Because the line, the story that you're gonna always get is how they can do you better than what your spouse is doing for you right now. Some cases, yeah, that I can see that. Because some of y'all are just being dogged. But when you going through something and you just ain't feeling your spouse that day, you better go fill yourself up with that word. Better pray. Because whatever it was that drawed you to him or her, you better get back to the basics with that. Everybody has spats. Everybody has disagreements. But your disagreements is between you and your spouse. And y'all need to get along and not get Facebook on, or Twitter on, or TikTok on, or Instagram. You don't just go out and post pictures because your husband that made you mad and you want to see how many men can give you a thumbs up. Honey, your husband need to give you a thumbs up. You put those clothes on and you go in there where he is. See if you can get a thumbs up from him. So, and it's vice versa, because men get naked on Facebook as well. This ain't just for one person, because you got some out there like, oh, she gonna see what she missing. Let her see it, send her the picture. So when you sending it to her, just like, look, I miss you. And see, there is nothing more sweeter than somebody that's real about their feelings. Baby, I love you. This hurt me. I'm laying everything I got on the table for you. I don't want nobody else. I want you. So here's the key to my life. When you make that commitment to your partner, give him the key to your life, women. Give her the key to your life, men. There shouldn't be not one thing that they not able to get into whenever they just get ready. And you be like, well, why they gotta look in it? Well, sometimes they just like to see what you're doing. That means they care about you. If they don't ever want to know what you're doing, something's wrong. Or if you don't want them to know what you're doing, something's up. Because ain't no privacy in a marriage. I mean, speaking from experience, you can't even go to the bathroom by yourself sometimes. And I know that may sound funny to y'all, but it's love that'll make your spouse come to the door and say, I'm just checking on you. And I'm being serious right now. Oh my goodness, I'm having fun. But relationships and social media, it's not the social media, it's the person. Social media is the tool that the person uses to do their dirt, if that's what they choose to do. Now, I will give you this tidbit. If your spouse is uncomfortable with somebody being on your page, then you should be ready to just dismiss them. Because what you got is at home. You working to keep your wife happy, your husband happy. And those side people, they don't mean you no good. Why even try to fight to keep them? Because if you're in love with your spouse, you're going to give them up quick anyway. Because you love her. You love him. And you don't want no problems in your home because of Facebook, because of TikTok, because of Twitter. Oh, and I love all these avenues, y'all, but I'm just naming them because this came up the other night. And so they was like, well, social media plays a role in the part where the men or the women cheat. No, baby, it does not, okay? It's an avenue and a tool. If he was already looking for somebody to get at, and he looking at every picture that's got all the big butts and all the big breasts on down the line, he was already getting ready to do what he was gonna do. He just used the tool to do it. Whether it had been in the streets, or at the club, or wherever. If he was gonna do it, social media is just another avenue for him to do so, or for her to do so. And you can't tell somebody to not do something and then you do it. You can't have this on your page and your page and this and that. But then I'm turning around and looking at you and you got your ex on your page, whom you just slept with a couple of months ago, and you still cheat. Come on, somebody, we got to be real about this stuff. Social media is not the issue. It's you doing your dirt on social media that makes it the issue. So here's what to do when you're in a relationship with Facebook. Oh, y'all like my bear? This is my birthday bear, y'all. My husband and kids surprised me, and I really like my bear. But anyway, yeah, back to it. So here's the things to do to help you with your issues with social media. And if your spouse don't agree to this, then you know what's up. So keep people out your business, number one. Number two, leave your status as married if you married. And don't be flip-flopping, switching back and forth. Especially if y'all gonna be back together tomorrow night. Okay? Because everybody looking at it, they be like, ooh, they into it. Folks can tell when y'all into it because you done went over there and changed your status real quick. That's immature. Stop doing it. Stop giving people the tools to your life and your relationships through social media. Alright, so then another thing is, y'all need to clean up y'all's page. Clean it up. Like immediately. You go through there and weed out all those exes, all those people that comes in and do these inboxes of inappropriate things, whether it be pictures of body parts or text messages of saying what they want to do to you. And you know, it's a shame when you married and you in somebody else's inbox and they married too, and both of y'all back and forth telling each other about how y'all feel about each other and how great y'all look. You know, that's a shame. So that's another don't do. Stay out of people's inboxes. Keep them out of yours. And you know, if they just keep coming back, expose them. I saw my sis on Facebook, and she's so sweet to me. It's a young couple, and they were on here once. It was a guy that was in her inbox. She exposed him because she ain't playing no games. You ain't playing no games about your spouse. So you want to secure your spouse. Let him or her know that you love him or her. I told my husband earlier tonight, I said, when I first met you, yeah, I had another, person that I was talking to. But as soon as he came on the scene, it was like, he was gone. He had called me and my husband heard it on the answer machine and so forth. But I really kind of forgot about him and I cut him short. There was no play around because I had what I wanted. I was wanting to be with my husband. And so, long story short, you guys make sure that y'all, number one, keep people out your business. Number two, keep your status as what it is. Don't be trying to flip-flop with that. That's letting people know more about your business. Number three, stay out of folks' inbox. Go in your own spouse's inbox. And if you ain't married, still stay out of folks' inbox. Especially if they married and they don't belong to you. Number four, clean up your page. Get rid of all those people that don't mean y'all no good. Let them go. And do it with a feeling of ease. Number five, it's simple, y'all. Keep it open. Share things amongst your spouse. If she just want to get up and look at your page, you should not have a problem with that. If he want to just get up and look at your page and he wants to turn and take the phone, you shouldn't have a problem with that, because I'm going to tell you what it does when you act like you have a problem. Flags go up, because this is everybody, and y'all can be real if you want to, or you can be fake, but I'm going to be real with you. When they do stuff like that, the first thing come to your mind is, what is he doing? Why he hiding stuff? Then if it's a male, what's she doing? Why she hiding stuff? And so now you want to check up on them because they just gave you the red flag of, I'm hiding something. Because if it's just me and you, it don't matter about you looking in my inbox. Ain't nothing in there in the first place. And some of y'all think y'all slick. Yeah. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Some of y'all think y'all slick. You try to erase everything. But God gonna show you up either way it go. This is warning for somebody. A lot of somebodies. Clean your page up and stop. Because you are cheating on your spouse when it's not your spouse that you texting. And if you said, well, it ain't gonna hurt, flirting ain't never hurt nobody. Flirting has hurt a lot of people, because a lot of folks has gotten pregnant. A lot of folks has come up dead. A lot of folks has come up with all kind of diseases. A lot of marriages have been destroyed, all because they want to flirt with somebody else. So yes, flirting does do damage when it's not your spouse. So, okay, yeah, anyway, but back to it. And we just, let you guys go. Clean your page up. Keep your page open. Y'all share a page if you need to. Yeah, that builds, you know what it builds trust. I need to be able to trust you with social media. You earn that trust. Even if you've not ever done anything wrong, earn that trust. Trust me, men, if you earn that trust with her, she'll go miles for you. Women, you earn that trust with him, it ain't nothing that you can't get from your husband when he's a good man and he's a man of God. All right, couples and families, I pray that this has helped you. I know y'all have enjoyed this video, so I'm gonna ask you to do us a favor and go ahead and share and tag a friend. And then you know what? Drop a comment below, because we know that this is happening everywhere. Social media, people are like, well, social media is the reason, it's the cause. No, it's not. It's just a tool. It's a tool that they use to do their dirt. So anyway, it's your girl Lynette, and I thank you all for joining us with Relationship Essentials. And I look forward to next week, Lord's will. Bye-bye.